Hey everyone, this is Tim
And Brian
from Slingshot Group, and we put people in their place.
We do that by helping churches and nonprofits build remarkable teams through staffing and coaching. Let's talk about an often forgotten element of the process when it comes to bringing a new team member onto your team, their family.
Their family. And there's so many different stages of the process. It's important to remember not just the leader that you are looking to hire, but their family in every stage.
Yeah.
And so the first stage is the interview process.
Yeah. You know, there's a number of different interviews, phone interviews, video interviews, on-site, and there are some really opportune times to bring in a spouse, to allow them to ask questions, to allow them to share some of the fears and apprehensions they might be having about maybe relocating and being outside of their norm, going to the new people, new place.
Yeah, it's interesting. We have seen situations where you connect with a candidate, but their spouse, if not brought in early enough, can be the deal breaker.
Yeah, it can blow things up.
Oh, even with a leader who's single, they might not quite be ready to move away from their family, right. And you need to work that out early. So we say just that. Bring the family issue in early.
Yeah.
Start early.
Think about what is going to mean to them, not just to start a new job, but to start in the new place.
We often say in the process that remember the candidate is interviewing you, the church or nonprofit. We'd also say that the family is interviewing you too, because it's going to mean a lifestyle change for them. And so ask questions about how they're feeling about this. Ask questions about what is it going to mean for your family or moving away from your family.
Yeah, really go the extra mile
right.
through that interview process and bring it all the way home.
The whole extra mile piece is important because if you've been asking questions or you've been interviewing the spouse too, especially in a church job, you want to follow up in subsequent interviews asking follow-up questions. Yeah. Also with candidates perhaps that are single or struggling with moving away from their family, that could be a deal breaker. Consider making a part of their package provision for visiting down the road.
Plane tickets, train tickets, ways for them to connect with the people that they love.
Go the extra mile. The next part of the process is the in-between stage.
Yeah, so you've completed the interview, process is done, you've made an offer, the offer's been accepted. Woo! What happens sometimes though is it's common for organizations to put that relationship on the back burner.
Right.
And that's what we don't want to happen because there's a lot of value that can be added in this in-between stage of the process.
Yeah. So it's really important to stay connected, to nurture that relationship. You know, I think about my wife and I when we were moving from the first church I worked at to the next church, which was on the other side of the world, from Australia to America. There was 6 months of in between. 6 months while we're going through the whole immigration process. That staff was so intentional, checking in on us, calling us when there were other team members in the room.
Making sure you knew you were loved.
Exactly. Actually celebrating progress with the congregation. Use social media. If you're a nonprofit and you're welcoming a new leader, keep celebrating that progress and steps on social media. Stay connected during that in-between stage.
Yeah, I remember we opened our mail one day and there was a box of sports memorabilia for the local MLB team that the pastor of the church had sent to me, my wife, and both of our kids. And you better believe when my kids opened that box and saw that sports, it was jerseys and hoodies and hats, all kinds of things for them. They were so excited, and it really increased their anticipation for when we were getting ready to move and call that place home.
That's what you call the extra mile.
Extra mile.
The next part of the process is they've arrived.
Yes, day one is here.
Day one is here, and celebrate the fact that they are finally here. Have celebration parties, all kinds of things like that. Personal story for me was when we moved from Australia, none of our appliances worked. Oh. Because here it's what, like
110,
120, whatever it is. There it's like 240, 250, 280, I don't know. But anyway, we needed new stuff. So they had a get plugged in party.
Oh, that's great.
And people bought appliances for us, and we felt so loved.
And it's a very practical need.
Yes.
I mean, nothing to do with the job description and responsibilities. This is a way to make them know that you were family to them.
So remember the family in each part of the process, because reminding them of this reminds them of their calling, reminds them of what they're called to, and to win with a staff member's family is to win big.
Yeah, and as a leader, it really is your responsibility to create that welcoming environment for the new hire and their family.
Because here at Slingshot, we love to put people in their place.
But it's up to you as a leader to help them and their family love the work.